Today's video, we're going to be working on a doorbell that's not working. As soon as I remove the doorbell button, I can already see here the whole side of the doorbell is broken. This indicates to me I'm most likely getting corrosion and buildup that's causing the button not to work. Right now, I have my multimeter set to volts, and I'm going to check the lines here on the back. One's going to go on each lead. I just want to make sure that I'm getting voltage. You can see that I am getting voltage through the line. One quick tip that I can give moving forward, if you want to see if it's the button, you can easily just remove these two wires and then tap them together, and that should send the signal to the Chime kit to turn on. This is low voltage, so I'm going to tap the two wires. This indicates to me that the button is the problem. What I want to do on this video, since we're already working on the system, is I want to give a little bit more of an in-depth detail as far as the wiring is concerned. I've had videos that I posted on my channel showing you how to replace the Chime kit, how to replace the transformer, how to replace the doorbell button. But a lot of times I see comments where people are trying to get a better understanding of the wiring. This Chime kit, it's already hanging, so just be careful when you're working on this, because behind this Chime kit is the transformer, and the transformer does feed 120 volts and then transforms it to 24 volts low voltage. I'm going to remove the cover. Whoever installed this Chime kit, because it just kind of went right into the drywall. When we reattach this, I would like to put it into the stud, and I can see just from looking here, the stud is on the left side. Again, there is 120 volts. I would advise to proceed with caution. What I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the transformer gently, and once I do that, that'll show me the 120 incoming volts. If you wanted to see if your transformer was working, what we would do at this point, specifically on the low voltage side, is we would use our multimeter and we would test these leads right here to see if we have low voltage. You can see here on the multimeter that we do have low voltage. Now that I've removed the transformer, we have the Chime kit, we have the transformer, we have the incoming voltage. If we were testing the voltage on the transformer, the 120 coming in, where we would start is we would start by testing the incoming leads coming in from the 120 volts. For this video, I'm going to remove these electrical nuts. I'm going to remove the wiring to the transformer, and basically for video purposes we're going to start from scratch. We're just going to have the wires, we're not going to have anything connected. We have our 120 incoming volts, and we have our low voltage wire. This low voltage wire is going to run to the doorbell button. If you want to test to make sure that these wires are coming from the transformer, you can tie these two wires together and we can do a continuity test. So here I've tied the two wires together. I've set my multimeter to continuity. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my leads from my multimeter and put it on this side. My other lead to my multimeter is going to go on this side. And this helps being able to do a continuity test to make sure that there's no breaks in your low voltage wire. You can do this not only for your transformer, but you can do it for your thermostat wiring if you're working on your low voltage thermostat wiring. And that tone indicates to me that I do have continuity and there's no breaks in the line. If for some reason I tried my continuity test and there was no reading or no chime, that would indicate to me that the lines running from the transformer to the doorbell are broken and we would have to rerun lines. So we know right now there's no issues with our lines, we're getting continuity, and now we're going to start with the voltage. I have my multimeter set to volts, and we're going to simply take our leads and we're going to put them inside of each wire nut. So here I have one of my leads going into the white, the common, and the others going into the black wiring. That's my hot incoming from the circuit breaker. And here I do have 120 volts. If you're not getting voltage from these wires, this would indicate that you're having issues at the circuit breaker. The circuit breaker would not be sending the voltage here to the transformer. If you have your multimeter connected and you're not getting any voltage reading, you would go to the circuit breaker panel. It's possible that there is a trip breaker. Just for this video, I turned the breaker for that smoke detector to the off position. And what you would do is you would reset that breaker or turn that breaker back on, and that should send 120 volts back to your lines. Now that we know we have 120 volts feeding the lines, we've tested our continuity for our low voltage wires going to the doorbell button. Now we're able to start our install. You can also use your non-contact voltage detector. This is indicating to me that I do have power. We're going to turn the breaker off that feeds the power to the lines for the transformer. You can see here I am not getting any power to the line. It's always good to double check. So here I'm rechecking with my multimeter and I have no voltage. Here we have the new transformer that we're going to connect. The old one had 2 wires. On this one, the new one, we have 3. The difference is we have a ground wire, which is the green one, and we're going to connect that to our ground here. Here we've connected our wires, our white leads here. This is my common. The black to black, this is my hot. And then here, as I said, this is my ground. Now that I have my wires, I push them back in, and I'm going to sit my transformer right here inside the box. We'll turn the breaker back on. Now I'm going to test my low voltage. You can see I do have low voltage. Now that we have our transformer set, I'm going to take one of my wires from my low voltage and I'm going to connect it here to the transformer. Now I'm going to attach my jumper wire. The jumper wire is going to go from my other side of the transformer to my chime kit. So here I have one of my wires coming in from my low voltage feeding to the transformer. My other one is going to connect to my chime kit, the front. Here I have a jumper wire from the other side of my transformer, and this is going to go to the rear side of my chime kit. At this point, we're ready to mount our chime kit. Just remember before you install it, what position you want to install your chime kit. It could be horizontal, side to side, it could be vertical, up and down. Or securing your chime kit, that you secure it to the wooden stud here in the back. You can see before the chime kit was hanging off the wall, where now it's nice and secure. We have 2 wires left. Just be reminded when you're bringing the wires from behind the wall that you bring it into the proper location. You don't want it covering the top. You don't want it coming through and hitting these plungers and stopping it from hitting when it rings the doorbell. My white wire that's coming from the low voltage is going to go to the front. The other wire will go to the rear. Before we put the new button on, we're going to test it. We're going to connect our new button. This button is going to be a little bit of an upgrade. It lights. As long as it gets voltage, it'll light up, so at nighttime you can see where the button is. Here we're going to put the cover back on. If this video was a help, if it was informational, please subscribe.